This is the all-new 2026 RAV4 XSE beside me. We're gonna go through a few things today that I think are worthy of the hype of this new RAV4, which happens to be one of the best-selling vehicles on planet Earth, and a couple things that you're gonna wanna stay tuned for that I'm not very fond or a big fan of in this new RAV4. My team has shared with me that a lot of our viewers to our channel here to watch content and videos like this aren't subscribed. It's the one thing that I can ask of you watching this video today. If you can hit that subscribe button, it's free. So please, can you just hit that button? It would mean the world to us here at our store. So with the new 2026 RAV4s, they are all hybrids. They've done away with just a gas engine in some of the previous Gen 2025 and older RAV4s. So this one here, every single RAV4 that you purchase is a hybrid. Now, I'm gonna share a few things with you. First and foremost on the outside exterior of this vehicle, and then as we get into this video a little bit more, we'll talk about some of the things, having now lived with this vehicle for the past few days, that I can see where the hype is and where some of those things are not. So first, let's talk about the front end of this vehicle. I personally love what they've done cosmetically. They've made the front end here more squared, more rugged, more boxy-like, and I think that's a good thing. We see a lot of SUVs now in the marketplace where they've gone to more of that rugged type look. And I think it's a win here for the brand. I think they've nailed that out of the park. I love these headlights with the LEDs that light up. You see them from a mile away. I love how everything on this XSE is all blacked out. This beautiful grille. We've got beautiful LED turn signals and running lamps down at the very bottom here. And then we've got all of our sonar systems built into that front grille. So crash test avoidance. We've got our front nose camera. So parking that vehicle in a busy, congested parking lot won't be an issue, and you're not going to damage that beautiful front end. Safety Sense 4.0 also comes in this, so it gives you all the sensors in the front. I think they've done a great job with that. Looking down the side here, Toyota for 2026 now give you a 21-inch wheel wrapped in these beautiful Toyo tires when you get an XSE. I love the way this looks here, all blacked out. Some manufacturers here have a black, unpainted finish to it, but Toyota's taken a different approach to give it that beautiful, sleek look along the side. That I would have to say they've done right. All blacked out. My only concern with this is, would this get scuffed up down at the bottom here, because it is gloss painted, and along in the back here. I don't know longevity wise that is the best thing, but definitely from a cosmetic standpoint, it looks the best having it all blacked out like this. Thumbs up to Toyota for that. In 5 years time, depending on some owners, that might come back to bite some people, but leave a comment down below. Do you think Toyota's done a good job in painting all of this in one color, or do you think you would have preferred to seen it a little bit different surface or unpainted finish in this particular trim? Let us know. Okay, so looking at the back of the vehicle, I am a fan of what they've done here cosmetically. I think they've done a wonderful job with these taillights and when they illuminate at nighttime. I love the black badging between Toyota and obviously here on the XSE, how everything is all blacked out. And then of course, that lovely RAV4 badge on the back. You know, when I first look at this vehicle, I think it's a win. They've done everything on the cosmetic part of it. And as we get inside here momentarily, same thing. The way it looks, I believe, is a win. And that's what I think Toyota's done so well. So they're gonna sell millions of these because of that. I just think in the driving dynamics of it and maybe some of the materials inside, there are definitely better options when it comes to vehicles in this class. I don't know that the average person really cares about that because it's got a hybrid and it looks the part, but you're also gonna pay a ton of money to get one. So we'll get to that momentarily, but let's look at the back here. Power liftgate. Got to have that for a vehicle like this. The back here seems like a good size. We've got our JBL audio system here in the back. We've got our privacy cover, of course, that we can bring across the back here, which will protect those belongings down below and making sure that the UV rays stay off of our groceries in the back. We've got our rubber mat for the back protecting the rear, and then our spare down below. Down here at the very bottom, we've got our sensors that if we're getting too close to an object or another vehicle behind us, the vehicle will apply the emergency braking to it and notify the driver inside that something's getting too close. And I like what they've done here as they've given a, as I would describe, like a gun metallic finish to that rear bumper, giving a bit of that two-tone accent trim. Let us know in the comments below. Do you like what they've done here with this gray piece down at the very bottom here? Or, given that everything else is blacked out on this RAV4, would you have preferred to see this all blacked out here also on the bumper? Let's hop inside and get our thoughts on what we think of the interior of this RAV4. So, just about to get in the vehicle here, and we'll get to that, we're almost there. For those that are new to our channel here, you'll know that I'm actually a huge fan of Toyota. At our store here, we get a lot of the Tacomas, 4Runners, specifically TRD Pros, higher spec Toyotas, and I'm a big fan. Now, a few things, you know, cosmetically, I've given it its award because this looks the part. It really does. But just opening and closing some of the doors, it shows, I don't know how to describe it. It just feels a little bit cheap and flimsy. The doors don't have a solid sound when they're being closed. And a lot of the trim, I don't know if it's part of it. Obviously, the engineers, when designing this to mass produce a vehicle like this, have to be able to make it affordable, even though they are on the upper side of pricing when you get into vehicles like this. But everything seems a little bit flimsy and hard plasticky inside. I think they've done a wonderful job in how the dash is laid out. Getting in the vehicle, this beautiful screen, we've got the beautiful center console screen, which everything runs through here and it's seamless with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We've got our wireless charging pads up above here and storage down below. We've got our USB-C chargers and a wonderful mode of different driving dynamics. We've got a normal driving mode, trail and snow modes for different times of the year, of course. We've got different drive modes for the EV mode in this particular vehicle. And I think from a technical stance on this vehicle, home run, obviously. And that's what the rave is all about with this. I just think some of the interior plastics and materials, they could have done a better job. I know some manufacturers, as crazy as this might sound, spend time inside of a vehicle before it goes to production and they do like a smell test. This is a real thing. I've seen this before. I've been in the automotive space for 20 years. I'm a dinosaur. This is one vehicle where I feel like if I was one of those engineers, if you will, I'd have to fail it. I drove this vehicle. It's been in our possession now for a few days. It's got 135 kilometers on it. It's brand new. And it has a very cheap plastic smell inside. Maybe they'll put it down to that's just a new car smell, but it's not very welcoming or inviting. Might be a certain material in here that I'm not familiar with, but my 2 cents. So take it for what it is. Leave a comment down below. Do you disagree with that? Do you think that they've done a good job if you're currently driving a 26 RAV4? That's just my experience. Maybe it's a one-off. I don't know. But other than that, I do have to give it a thumbs up to how this layout is inside. Down below here, one of my favorite things with this cup holder in the center armrest is how you can open it from either side. I think that's a great thing. So if you're the driver or the passenger, how you can access that. Looking down below here, I love the cup holders. There's a little piece in the middle, like a little insert that does come out. So if you have bigger cups or smaller cups, if you've got a Stanley or a Yeti, you have the flexibility of making sure they can also reside inside of here. We've got our beautiful, simplistic turn on button. You're welcomed with beautiful chimes. They're not annoying, so they've done a great job with that. We've got all of our customization for our seats and steering wheel all from the very front here. Very user-friendly. We're not gonna set this up right now, but we can set this up a little bit later. One thing above me here is when you get into a higher spec, like this one here in XSE, I would think you would have a panoramic moonroof. Now, this one here, it is an optional upgrade to go one more level higher, and I believe it's around $1,500 more, gives you that pano roof with a few additional small adds. I'm just surprised to see a vehicle like this closing in on that $60,000 MSRP that it doesn't already come with it, but let us know. There's a reason for it. Probably have put that money into something else, but leave a comment, let us know. Do you agree with that? Would you have liked to see a pano roof come as a standard option in an XSE? Not a big fan of the door plastics or the trim on the doors, but the seats I love. I love these seats. I love the way it has like a two-tone fabric where we've got like a leather exterior part and then the insert here like a beautiful suede. I like the blue stitching they've done on that just to accent and really make that interior pop. I think they've done a great job. And then down below here, we've got what I would describe as a normal sized, not too big, not too small, glove box and a lovely little storage compartment up above here. So if you had your sunglasses, your wallet, or a small purse or a side bag, you'd be able to put that up in place here. And then down below here, this view button allows us to toggle and see almost a invisible car-like picture of the RAV4 here, but to see everything that's around us and It's very user-friendly, how we can spin around with our fingertips here and see everything around. So if there are shopping carts, bicycles, pedestrians, or anything that could possibly be in the way, especially if you're parking in like underground parking, in a condo, or in a busy urban dwelling, this is something you may use on a daily basis. Let's hop out and get our final thoughts on what we think of this RAV4. Okay, so that's it for the RAV4. Now, I just want to say to all of my Toyota people, I do really like this car. Are there things that I do like about it? And there's things, of course, that I don't like about it? That's okay too, right? There's never going to be that perfect vehicle. For all the things that I don't like, can they be offset by the things that are great about this? Let me just talk about the fuel efficiency. So I live about 30 kilometers from here, and to get home and back, there's some city and highway driving combined. Now, I have driven this vehicle over the past few days, and I've managed to get a very, what I would say, staggering 4.7 liters per 100 kilometers, which is immensely respectable for a vehicle of this size. So kudos to Toyota and their engineering team to deliver a vehicle that offers that kind of fuel economy. Now, onto the price point, is it worth it? So let us know in the comments below. For the RAV4 in this particular spec in the mid 50s, closing in on $60,000, if you add in the tech package with that panel roof, is it worth it? Are you gonna look at something hybrid right now given today's fuel prices, or would you look at something else? We have the RAV4, we have the very competitive Nissan Rogue, Honda CR-V. Leave a comment, let us know what your thoughts are. Are you looking at the RAV4, or would you look at something different, hybrid, plug-in hybrid, or would you stick with a fully gas vehicle in this segment? Thank you again for checking out the video today on this RAV4 2026 XSE. If you can hit that like and subscribe button again, it would mean the world to us. Again, I'm Brendan. I'm the General Sales Manager here at Parkway Nissan of Stony Creek. And weekly, we release videos, much like this one here, and reviews like that you've seen here today. For more videos and content like this, make sure you follow Parkway Nissan of Stony Creek. We'll see you in the next video. Come and get it.